It was around 4 in the morning in Ouagadougou. The city lay quiet, wrapped in deep silence, when suddenly a sharp gunshot shattered the calm like a crack of thunder. In the dim shadows, a man stumbled, wounded but still standing. This was no ordinary figure. He was a seasoned protector, once trusted to guard one of Africa's most controversial and powerful leaders, Muammar Gaddafi. Time had carved its mark on him. His body carried the memory of past conflicts, battles most people could hardly imagine. Now he served alongside Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the young and bold leader who had become a symbol of change in Burkina Faso. But this night felt different. Something had shifted. The danger that always lingered in the distance had now come dangerously close. The question wasn't only who fired the shot, but why this moment was chosen. What message was hidden behind the attack? To understand that, one must go back in time, to another era, another leader, and another struggle. Before standing beside Traoré, this man had pledged his loyalty to Gaddafi, a figure who represented resistance across Africa. Loyalty in his case was not something casual. It was built through hardship, discipline, and sacrifice. Gaddafi was known for trusting very few people, but when he did, he expected complete dedication. His bodyguards were more than just protectors. They were symbols of strength, trained to defend him at any cost. This man witnessed Libya during its peak under Gaddafi, but he also saw its collapse. He saw how power could fall, how a leader once feared could be hunted down and killed. That experience left deep scars, not just on his body, but on his mind. While many disappeared or chose safer paths, he carried forward a sense of purpose, searching for something worth defending again. When he encountered Traoré, it wasn't random. He saw something familiar in the young leader's words and actions, a fearless attitude, a refusal to bow to foreign influence. It reminded him of the ideals he once protected in Libya. For him, this was not just another role. It felt like a continuation of an unfinished mission. In Burkina Faso, his presence held deeper meaning than most people realized. To the average citizen, he was simply another security figure. But for those who understood history, he represented a connection between two eras of resistance. One chapter had ended in Libya, but another seemed to be unfolding in West Africa. That is what made the attack so significant. It wasn't just aimed at a person, it targeted an idea. It was a strike against the symbol of continuity, an attempt to shake the belief that the spirit of resistance could rise again. The man himself was aware of the risks. He understood that his role made him a target. In quiet conversations, he often admitted that true loyalty came with the acceptance of danger, even death. Yet he believed there was a reason he had survived everything in Libya. Each time he stood beside Traoré during public appearances, hearing crowds voice their frustrations and hopes, he felt echoes of the past. For him, this mission was not just duty. It was redemption, a chance to carry forward something that history had tried to erase. The timing of the attack was no coincidence. It happened at a moment when most people are at their weakest, just before dawn, when exhaustion sets in and alertness fades. The attackers clearly understood this. They were patient, calculated, and deliberate in their actions. This was not the work of amateurs. The choice of time revealed planning and precision. Their goal extended beyond harming a single individual. They were targeting what he represented. By striking him, they aimed to send a message that no legacy, no matter how strong, could stand in their way. However, they underestimated the resilience of a man shaped by years of conflict. This was someone who had survived chaos before. Even after being wounded, he did not collapse easily. His instincts took over in the darkness, guiding him through the moment. It wasn't just training. It was a lifetime of discipline and survival. As he fought to stay alive, he carried more than his own fate. He bore the responsibility of protecting a leader who had become a symbol of hope for many people. Captain Traoré represented change for those tired of old systems and external control. News of the attack spread quickly across the capital. Rumors began to circulate. Some believed foreign forces were behind it, trying to weaken Traoré's inner circle. Others suspected betrayal from within, jealousy, or ambition, forces that have historically destroyed many movements. Despite the different theories, one thing was clear. This incident was not just about violence against a man. It was an attack on an idea, the belief that new leadership could rise in Africa without submission. People reacted with a mix of fear and respect. Fear, because the attack showed how far enemies were willing to go. Respect, because even in that moment, the bodyguard's actions reflected unwavering loyalty. The event became a reflection of the broader challenges facing Burkina Faso. The nation stood under pressure from multiple sides: security threats, political tension, and international influence. Targeting a figure connected to both past and present struggles turned the incident into something symbolic. It showed that this conflict was not only about power or territory, it was about meaning, history, and identity. Those behind the attack understood that symbols can influence people more deeply than force alone. Breaking a symbol can weaken belief. Yet history has shown that such symbols are not easily destroyed. Like the leaders before him, Traoré understood that ideas cannot be eliminated with bullets alone. Among ordinary citizens, the story spread quickly. It was discussed in markets, homes, and public spaces. Some saw the man's survival as a sign that the spirit of resistance could not be erased. Others viewed it as a warning of the difficult road ahead. Either way, the event became part of the country's narrative. It was no longer just about one person. It was about what he stood for. As the sun rose and the city came back to life, the attack marked a turning point. It raised deeper questions about the future. Could Burkina Faso continue moving forward with its vision? Could loyalty and purpose still survive in a world often shaped by betrayal? The events of that early morning were not a conclusion. They were the beginning of a new chapter, one that would test not only leadership, but the strength and belief of the people themselves.